Do know that there are two victims. We're told a 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman. The LAPD homicide unit is on the scene. You're looking live at that scene in Brentwood right now. Air 7 is over the situation.
And we are joining you on the air here at the bottom of the hour for Eyewitness News at 6. Welcome back. Liz Nagy along with Jory Rand here. Okay. We are following that multiple breaking news stories on this Sunday night, including a pair of mass shootings, one in Australia, one in Rhode Island. But we begin here in Australia, where at least 15 people are dead at a Hanukkah celebration. We'll get back to that breaking news.
They're still not starting this presser.
Investigators now say the two gunmen in this attack
I'm
are
here.
Father and
They're still not. I just checking on that presser. There's a lot of media here for the press conference. There's still media outlets right next to me unloading their gear out of their car, you guys. There's nobody anywhere near that fucking thing.
So they're saying Rob Reiner and his wife were killed by their son. That's what people are saying.
I'm sure it's starting. It's finally breaking all over nationally, you guys. It's a big fucking story, man. You're gonna be hearing about this all fucking week. This is insanity, man, and it's tragic, and it's just crazy because I just lit this whole neighborhood up. You know what I mean? I just put Christmas lights up on 25 houses in this very neighborhood, and this is depressing. I gotta text my customer back, but honestly, she's getting upstaged by Rob Reiner, you know? You guys go ahead and like the live and share the live if you can follow the page. If you're new here, give us a follow. We love it. We appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, his son did that. His son did this. Subscribe to the YouTube and hang around with us. I mean, let's be honest. This is like as big as any other fucking unaliving that's happened in this neighborhood. The only other giant unaliving that ever happened in this neighborhood blocks away is the OJ unalivings. You know what I mean? We haven't seen an unaliving in this neighborhood since fucking Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. This is insanity. Honestly, this is as big as fucking the OJ unalivings. This is the equivalent of that. There hasn't been anything in this neighborhood like that. Matt Perry lived over in Malibu, up on a hillside, more of a humble neighborhood actually. He had a house in the Hollywood Hills that he sold, but when he was unalived in his spa, he was living in his new house, which was...
So, you know, this is what they're saying now. And people say, I'm being dramatic, I'm over dramatic, whatever. This is what they're saying now, is that the son supposedly killed them. And people say, oh, Mel, you're doing too much. No, mother, I see this shit every fucking day. Mel, you're being dramatic. No, these motherfucking kids will kill you. They will fucking kill you. You can work your ass off for your whole entire life so they can be privileged, have a good life, have a nice home. They will fucking kill you. Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele, were killed by their son. Spoiled fucking brats. Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele, were killed by their son. Multiple sources confirmed to People. Wow. That's what I'm saying. This Trump stuff, this political shit is not going to save you. It's not going to change your life. It's really unfortunate. It's sick.
Celebrate.
Local restaurateur Sang Yoon brought it back late last year in the original. Despite its popularity among its customers, Yoon says.
It was him? That's happening now? I can't with all this news. I fucking can't. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see here.
Found murdered, matching the age of Rob Reiner and his wife at their Brentwood home. Plus, a JetBlue pilot narrowly avoids a midair collision with a U.S. Air Force tanker.
And a major shakeup.
So there's going to be a press conference, they're saying, coming up.
You better? Can you guys hear me? Check, 1, 2.
Okay, stop. Okay. Keep talking.
Check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Good. What about my station?
All on the same boat.
Everyone
Not
else?
only that. No, yeah. Do you guys want to know what's the craziest shit tonight? That's not even this. Are you guys ready for it? Tell me in the chat if you're ready for this shit. So they're saying, I can't even make this up. Hold on. Citizen just in. Officials released the person of interest. There's for the Brown University shooter. I guess he's not the shooter. What the hell? What the hell? The person of interest is being released. And the gunman is still at large. I can't. Apparently, there's a press conference happening right now. Let's see if we can tune in.
Was negative.
University, Brown University shooting. Okay. Live. Okay.
My friend Oscar Perez, I've known a long time, worked a lot of cases with Chief Perez. He's terrific. He's leading a great team here. Again, I wish you could have seen the work the other night. We have not yet solved this case, but I'm confident we're going to do that. And I'm confident we're going to do that in the very near future. So, Chief Perez?
Thank you, General. Yeah, good evening. We're here again today, obviously, I'm going to reiterate what the General just stated, as well as the Mayor. This person of interest will be released. And I want to make sure that we all understand
being released.
That it was a very complex investigation, and it still is.
I don't want to hear about it. I'm so tired of these people patting themselves on the back and accrediting themselves. I don't give a fuck about this shit. The supposed person of interest is being released. Bro, how are you walking away from this? You can't.
Work. And our responsibility is to make sure that we conduct the proper investigations. When I saw you all earlier today, I'm very proud of the detective work that they do. Detectives that work throughout the night, as the General stated. We're here last night, making sure that we lift every rock, that we investigate everything we needed to investigate, because we're not in the business of putting people in jail that don't deserve to be. And so at this point,
this is comical.
We'll continue to follow on every lead that comes our way. Our federal partners are on board. We'll be meeting again tomorrow with them and continue to do the work that we need to do to bring this person who's responsible to justice. Is this real? And I'm proud to say that in the morning we'll be reuniting with the detectives. Just so the detectives worked all night. They're still working as we speak.
What are you proud of? Proud to say?
We'll continue our investigations. So, questions?
Do you believe that the person who was in the video that you released last night is still a suspect, or is that the person that you detained and is now being released?
The person that we detained.
person from the video that you released last night, is that the person you detained this morning?
At this point, we don't have enough evidence to corroborate that, so no.
Do you still think that that person from the video, surveillance video, is the suspect that you're looking for?
Yes, Stephanie, what we saw in the video is the person we're looking for, correct.
I would describe that person as a person of interest. So there are a lot of unknowns in this case, and that's one unknown yet, Steph. That's what we're working towards.
So is it safe to say that you all believe at this point is the suspect behind the shooting, are they still in this community? I know you said there's not danger to this community, but is that person, do you believe they're still here? Have they left the state?
Honestly, we have no way of knowing. And the investigation is ongoing. We continue to follow leads that have been developed over the last day and a half, and we're continuing to ask for help. One of the things that Providence Police will be doing, and we should let our neighbors know, is that we are searching for additional video evidence. And so neighbors in the area of Brown University should expect to see Providence Police in the neighborhood canvassing, looking for additional evidence, specifically looking for additional video evidence. And we are looking for additional video evidence. There's been several questions over the last day and a half about videos at Brown and in the building. The videos at Brown in the building have been examined, and at this time we have no additional actionable information from the video that has been reviewed from the building. And so we are looking for new and additional video evidence, and neighbors in the community should expect to see Providence Police along with our partners, and we're again very grateful for the resources we've received from the state police because of the governor's support and our federal partners, but that is one piece of additional evidence and a way in which this community can help. If you have a camera and you are nearby, the video that was released was the corner of Hope and Waterman Streets. And if you are in that area and you have video, you have home video, Ring camera, security camera, you're a small business owner, please reach out to us. Call that number, 401-272-3121, or if you can upload the video itself, you can do so at fbi.gov/Brown University shooting.
The FBI director specifically said in his tweet that it was a tip from Providence Police that led you all to Hampton Inn. Can you confirm if that's true, and what exactly was the evidence that led you to this person of interest?
Yeah, so it was there was a tip that came in, just like we would take in any other tips, and that one came in specifically identifying a person of interest, which was this individual. And so our detectives got on it, just like they got on another one. This specific one, it was actually picked up by the FBI, and they followed through with it, and they ended up coming and locating this individual of interest. And at that point, we did our thorough investigation, examined, ended up drafting some search warrants, came up with some evidence, but that evidence was examined, and we didn't have enough, obviously, to be able to prosecute anybody, and so the person was released. Go ahead.
Chief, actually a question for the Attorney General. What is the standard in the state of Rhode Island for detaining someone before they are charged? How long are you allowed to do that? And I guess ultimately, if this individual who was detained is not found to have been part of this, will the Attorney General's office or the state of Rhode Island exonerate him in writing?
Well, Pat, what the case law tells us is that we can detain someone for a reasonable period of time if there is evidence such that points to that person being involved in criminal activity. And so, evidence doesn't appear on your doorstep and you have answers to it within the first 15 minutes. So let me just paint what I hope will be a clear picture. There's obviously evidence at the scene. That evidence at the scene may link to a particular individual. So when you have a person of interest, you try to link the evidence at the scene to that person of interest. Well, that takes time. That requires testing. Some of that lab testing can take an entire day. So over the course of the day, while we're following up leads elsewhere, those initial leads may come back positive or may come back negative. Here they came back negative, so we're in a position where we are now going to release that person of interest. But that's the way these investigations work.
This is crazy!
Well, look, Pat, I'm not going to get into exonerating people in writing or
Yo, I don't know. I'm like, my mind is like, holy crap, with this Brown University shooter.
Justified detaining this person as a person of interest. We continue to do our job. We're going to keep doing that. There may be other persons of interest. Hopefully they will be in custody or detention very soon.
Can you specify what that
about the weapons? There were multiple reports describing weapons that were found at the scene. Can you say whether or not there were weapons recovered at the scene, and does that describe the evidence that you described that may have linked to the person?
Listen, I am not going to, and I'm not going to, can't imagine the chief would either, is to lay out directly what evidence is at the scene. But what I'm telling you is, at any crime scene, there is evidence that links the perpetrator to the crime. When you have a person of interest, you try to link them to that particular evidence or her to that evidence. It could be all kinds of evidence, Steph. It could be fingerprint evidence. It could be ballistic evidence. It could be DNA. It could be a whole host of things.
Can you explain exactly what eliminated him?
I'm not going to get into that.
I know it's safe to say that the FBI is here tonight. Can you tell us more about the role? I know it's been emphasized that Providence Police will be the head here.
Yeah.
Kind of the role of what that looks like.
Well, look, in a situation like this, and I go back to the double homicide of Amy Shute and Jason Burgess 25 years ago. It's all hands on deck to try to canvass locations, look at electronic evidence, identify witnesses, track those witnesses down. So every agency brings something else to the table. State police certainly brings something to the table.
Waving hand emoji.
This is Providence's case, and they are the lead here, and they have the most boots on the ground to do most of the work that needs to get done.
I think this person was detained for hours on end today. Can you talk about what happened during those hours-long detention? Were they questioned that entire time? What did that look like when this person of interest was detained?
Yeah, well, again, I'm not going to get into the details of that, but what I will say is over the period of time that a person of interest is detained, again, you try to develop evidence to bring potential charges against that person. And if you can't develop that evidence and you release them, that happens plenty of times in the course of our criminal justice system here and everywhere else. So while that was being done, Providence and our law enforcement partners continue to work other leads. That work continues now, and we'll pick it up again in the morning and keep going.
You mentioned the cameras on Brown University's campus.
I can't with you motherfucker. I just can't.
As well in this investigation, or was that 10-second clip released yesterday? Is that all we have of this suspect?
That was the video evidence that was deemed most useful at the time to try to apprehend a suspect.
Mayor Smiley, you mentioned the video as well. Can you explain exactly what made other videos, I guess, not as helpful? Because there were other, you guys, can you explain, I guess, what videos have you guys been able to look through and what made those videos not as helpful to the public? Because I imagine at this point in the game, anything can be useful, so why not release what we have?
So because the investigation is ongoing and it may end up later being useful to then connect a dot, we're not going to release information that might be used at a future point in this investigation. But because the question has come up many times in our previous briefings, I wanted to be clear because it seemed like there was this unanswered question of or concern that perhaps the video evidence inside available from Brown had not yet been reviewed. It has been reviewed. And as the General pointed out, the video that was shared to the public yesterday, I think it was yesterday, is the most useful video that we have at this time that can be shared with the public for the purposes of helping identify an individual.
I think that's understandable, but if there is, I guess, video evidence that you guys have that will be helpful for the investigation or further cases, but could also, someone in the public could see that and know exactly who that person is, I guess, how do you manage that when we are now, more than 24 hours out?
If we had that video, you'd have it.
So
obviously, if there was a piece of video where we could show you a face and say, this is our person of interest or suspect, you'd have it. So we're releasing video evidence that helps solve that problem and answer that question. Not all of the evidence.
It's ridiculous that you guys, press conference?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a little bit longer. Thanks, everybody.
We'll see if we can find that clip. It's ridiculous that this campus, Brown University, supposedly has like 800 plus cameras, and the only thing they could post is that 11-second clip from last night.
we spent that first night and appreciated the shelter in place allowed Providence Police and our partners the freedom to move more quickly, to gather evidence, to work a complex crime scene. That first chapter of this investigation has concluded, and so when we lifted the shelter in place earlier, it was because we felt that it was an appropriate time to do so. All we had in custody was a person of interest, or in detention was a person of interest. But that was not the reason that the shelter in place was lifted. The reason the shelter in place was lifted is because, again, since the initial call came in at 4:05 a day and a half ago, we have not received a single additional specific threat to the Brown community, to the Providence community, to the Rhode Island community. And so police had and appreciated the flexibility and to have fewer people on the streets to be able to do their job. And there is no reason that we are not recommending at this time a new shelter in place. We do not feel it is necessary. As I mentioned at the outset, in order to provide an enhanced sense of safety, you will see an enhanced law enforcement presence in Providence and on the Brown campus. But that is so that people can have the confidence and comfort to still take their kids to school tomorrow, to if Brown's canceled classes for the rest of the semester, but we know some kids are still making travel arrangements to head home, to do so calmly, safely, and we want to provide that extra comfort with an enhanced law enforcement presence.
Colonel Perez, we're seeing there's some reports coming in right now about shots potentially fired near the main green, police currently in Rockefeller Library. Is there any validity to that, or are those false reports on social media?
So if the call just came in just now?
That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, so at this point, obviously, we'll be responding, but it's too early to tell if that's actually an accurate way. A lot of times those calls come in and they're not confirmable, but we'll check on that. Yeah.
Do you see daily updates moving forward on this? What can we expect, you think?
Yeah, we can expect, obviously, our police presence. You can expect us, the police department, continuing to follow leads. You can expect what the general and the mayor has stated, working with different of our federal partners. And you can expect that we're going to work extremely hard to bring that person that's responsible for these acts to justice.
And yes, we will expect to brief regularly going forward. It's hard for me to say what that frequency will be, but the community deserves to know the progress that we're making in this investigation, and we will share that progress. And from time to time, if there's no update, we will come up and say there is no update. I'm sure that I was asked many times this morning if the Providence community should breathe a sigh of relief, and I said they should. I imagine that the Providence community feels a little bit more anxious right now than they did an hour ago, and I understand that. And so we will provide regular updates going forward so that we can be as honest and transparent as we can be through this process, because that is the best way for our community to trust the officials and law enforcement officers who are working really hard on their behalf right now.
Attorney General, I'd ask you respectfully, well, first of all, let me claim that most of the people in this room are familiar with our expectations to move evidence. We understand the complexity of police investigation and the need to maintain the integrity of those. But the question that we continually receive from Rhode Islanders is that in a state where somehow, if you have a speeding ticket and a flock camera or some other speeding camera can capture you, how you can have a position where there's hundreds of cameras in that immediate area, maybe thousands.
That's a perfect question. And like I said, I'm not a conspiracy person, but this shit makes no fucking sense to me. How do you have hundreds and hundreds of cameras, and the only thing they could provide was last night's 11-second clip? And even that took a long time for them to release. I thought they were editing it, like privacy stuff. There was nothing to see.
It's an old building.
And the person was released!
Attached to a new one. So there just isn't, Pat. I don't know what to tell you, but we're going to go out and find whatever evidence we can to solve this case as quickly as we can. I mean, we're not holding back video that we think would be useful. And I don't think I should even have to say it.
If I could clarify, General, there's a difference between you don't have enough evidence to charge someone and clearing them of any suspicion. Are you clearing this?
This is a shame, and it's kind of a waste of time. I mean, I don't understand either. Like, what's the point of these press conferences? You're coming on, you're patting yourselves on the back, and you're not releasing information. What's the point? I mean, I guess the update is that the person that they arrested was wrongfully arrested. It reminds me of Charlie Kirk, that one guy that like threw him. Oh, I'm the shooter. Some weird weirdo fuck. That guy is weird. The guy with the Charlie Kirk thing. And it's like, how did this happen again? How do we arrest somebody that's not even the suspect?
A bunch of prosecutors, federal agents, the colonel's good people on the state police, and I know that's going to continue. And that our prosecutors are embedded with these detectives and agents, and we're going to solve this case. I can't tell you what direction it's going to take right now, but we're going to solve it.
What happens next as far as the investigation and obviously finding the person responsible?
There's a ton of things that happen next. And so I don't want to get into all those things because obviously we have a murderer out there, frankly. And so we're not going to give away the game plan. But the fact of the matter is that law enforcement has the tools necessary to solve this case. But we're 36 hours out. So, you know, it can never be too fast, particularly for the victims and their families and parents. But sometimes investigations take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's not as easy as having a photograph of the person that we can just give to you to help us find that person. But I know the team's going to work hard and we're going to solve it.
You mentioned all the tips that have come in. How difficult does it become given the amount
It's
of time?
mind-blowing that somebody could do a mass shooting at a university that supposedly has 800 cameras and slip out and not even be recorded. That's crazy. This person is probably chilling, watching the press conferences, smoking a cigar or something, watching this shit. Like, wow.
Pull things out and to make sure that we verify.
And this whole act earlier, oh, can you talk in Spanish for us? Can you speak Spanish for what? This whole act that they did earlier today, the diversity act they did earlier, who cares about that shit? Did you catch him or did you not? And apparently you arrested the wrong person. We don't give a fuck that you're speaking Spanish or you're multicultural, multi-language, whatever. We don't care about that.
Thanks, Oscar. Well done, Aaron. Thank you.
The show, the act, the pony and whatever they're doing, we don't care about that. We want results. We want people arrested, held accountable. Okay. Let's see. Back to this. Oh no, this is live right now. We should have a live stream. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Back to the Rob Reiner thing, which now it's being reported that their son killed them.
Jamie. Okay.
Rob Reiner.
Okay, I'll get my stuff on the warranty truck and I'll
Do you need a white balance?
Oh, good, thank you. Thanks for listening.
You're the one I care about. What? So you're the one I care
Were
about.
killed by their son.
No. You know what? Let's try.
And I feel like sometimes when I tell these stories, people are like, "Oh, Mel, you're being dramatic. You're overreacting." No, I'm telling you the shit that I've seen. These crazy, like, spoiled brat kids. Oh, Mel, you're being spoiled brat kids are killing their parents. You know, it's not like when we grew up. It's not like when we grew up. These spoiled little brat entitled kids are killing their parents. You can't tell them, go get a job. Go do your homework. You know? Look at that story that I, the other day, I meant to post it on my clips page. But there was a story that I mentioned the other day. While we wait, there was a story about this kid that killed his ex-girlfriend's mother and siblings just because this chick broke up with his ass. You know? Like, let me see, where's the article here? These kids are on something else. Teen allegedly killed ex-girlfriend's mom and younger siblings. He killed the mother and these kids. The kids? Wow. A 9-year-old and a 13-year-old. Because this chick broke up with him. Yeah, I'm locking my door at night. You know? Because these kids are, you don't know, these kids are on something else. You don't know what they're going through, what they're thinking sometimes.
Oh, he's coming back.
Oh no.
Just. Wrong street. You're supposed to be at the construction site.
No, they're coming back. Yeah, they're just coming
No, it's a, I think it's a mobile.
I know, I saw 2 satellites. I don't know. Like I said, man, the bathroom's here. You can use the bathroom.
Wow. Thank you.
Phoebe. It's been
Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Mel, you have a lot of assholes in here. Yeah, I know. We don't have mods anymore, so. I'm sure there's trolling and stuff in the chat.
Where you're going?
I was gonna launch. This clear space? Right? Not close to it anymore. Not close to it.
Which I find strange. There's a couple guys here talking, but anyway, to all the Cowboys fans who are butthurt that I'm saying that, don't be butthurt. How about them Cowboys? I lived in Dallas, you guys, for 5 years, and the Cowboys are 1-6 with me in the building. That includes a game that they lost here to the Rams. But the Cowboys are 1-6 with me in the building. I was at the Leon Let It Go game in the snowstorm against the Miami Dolphins. I was at that game. If you guys remember the snowstorm on Thanksgiving in Dallas, Texas, at the original Cowboy Stadium where Leon blundered the ball. Steve DeBerg was playing quarterback for the Dolphins because Dan Marino had injured his Achilles tendon a couple weeks prior. And he was actually there on the sidelines. I was at that game. Anyway, the only game the Cowboys ever won with me in the stadium was against the... I'm about to leave. I can't listen to you trash my Cowboys, says Steph. I was just about to tell you who they beat. I went to a Monday Night Football game. Hey, trust me, this is when the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Okay, your stupid Cowboys were winning every year. I'm bragging. The Cowboys suck right now, though.
Well, I've never been too much into sports. I used to watch baseball growing up on the TV, and I used to watch football too, and I was a Cowboys fan too. I like the Cowboys. Nah, I really don't care now. I'm not into sports like that, but yeah, I don't really care like that anymore. But I could still like if I was hanging out with some guys and shit, like I could watch a game and I understand what's going on. I could yell, yeah! I'd probably cheer on the opposing team just to mess with the guys that I'm hanging out with, whatever, I understand what's going on, but nah, I don't follow sports like that anymore. But they're saying, Rob, they're saying he was killed, allegedly by their son. You know, and honestly, I've been saying this shit like weeks. I've been saying this fucking thing. I feel like years, but especially the last couple of weeks, I've been saying this shit, and people laugh it off. And it is funny, somewhat sarcastically, but I've been saying this. These kids are deranged, and they will come and kill you. I've been saying it all this time, and here we are again.
You look like
It's not working. So you guys, a very well-known weather guy on KTLA is here. He doesn't want to be here. He just said they called me in because nobody else is available. He's right here. He does not want to be here.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm tired. I got shit to do, I guess.
I first thought OJ lived about 2 blocks that way is Rockingham. And if you take a right on Rockingham, you go 1 block to Sunset, you cross Sunset, go 2 more blocks. That was the OJ estate. But where OJ unalived Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Gold.
That's so interesting. Indie Phantom Sofa Cinema said, keeping it all in the family. That was one of the show's names. Ironically, Reiner spent his time being anti-gun activist. Meanwhile, his son stabs him. Yeah, that's true. It's crazy. Somebody wants to kill you, they're gonna find a way to do it.
I didn't even know that was his wife's last name, actually.
AXN is out there too, apparently.
To the person who just said OJ was not convicted, thank you for being a friend. Dun, 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 dun. We know OJ wasn't convicted, but we know OJ was guilty.
How about we start
That's right. OJ wasn't convicted. That's right. But he was found guilty.
AXN is out there. I think he has better video too. AXN. Oh. It's a little choppy though, but he's out there.
We're on scene down the street filming.
Okay, maybe once the choppiness goes away, we'll check him out. I'm just waiting for the press conference. I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna. Probably they're gonna say nothing, but waiting for the press conference. Let's see. Maybe I can play some stuff about like these psycho kids. Let's see. Maybe you're watching my live stream now, with your kid sitting next to you. The kid that hasn't moved out. Hasn't fucking done anything with themselves, and they're watching this shit. And in the back of your mind, it's kind of creeping in, like, yeah, I know this motherfucker's kind of crazy. He's lazy as fuck. And you hear me talking and covering the story, and you're like, this is true, and I hope this person gets the message. But you don't want to say anything to your kid because you know they might fucking kill you. And now it's just awkward because now I'm mentioning it, and this kid's probably sitting right next to you. That would be crazy, but it's possible. Timmy, it's time. Get a job, you lazy sack of shit. Go get a job. You're draining my resources. I'm buying the groceries. I'm cooking all the time. You don't clean your room. It's fucking dirty. You piss all over the toilet seat and on the floor. It's time. You gotta go. No, Mom. No. Let's see. Ray Johnson. Murdered his own parents, little scumbag. Let's see. Let's listen to this. Oh, while we wait.
Colin. And Colin is a teenager, and he's also gay. Now, there's obviously nothing wrong with that, but the problem is he feels like he has to tell his dad, who we'll just call Dad. And they live in Oklahoma, and Dad has some really backwards views on things. So Colin knows he's not going to take this news well. Regardless, Colin comes out to his dad. And Dad, of course, does not take it well. He just can't handle having a gay son. So he decides to punish Colin, and he stops letting him go to school, because I guess Colin really likes school. And so he's not allowed to go to school, and he becomes a prisoner in his own home. Dad doesn't let him leave the house or have friends, and his parents are divorced, and he's barely allowed to talk to his mom on the phone. And so this awful punishment goes on for several years. And as you can imagine, Colin's anger builds up, and he starts to really... So this kid, he
didn't even tell a story. What about the Menendez brothers? The Menendez brothers.
And they're each holding a pew-pew. And they start blasting, blam, blam, and they unalive their own parents. So the brothers, their names are Eric and Lyle, and they're 18 and 21. And these two are living the dream. They live in Beverly Hills with their parents. Their family is rich because their dad is some kind of Hollywood executive. But then, one day, Eric and...
Spoiled brats. I don't believe the Menendez brothers. I don't believe them. And supposedly, like, the father was abusive, and I don't know. They said some stuff. I don't believe these brothers, though. Little spoiled brats killed their parents and went on a shopping spree.
And Lyle decide they've had enough.
They said they were abused, but they went on a shopping spree.
Enough of their parents, and they want to get rid of them for good. A few days later, their mom and dad, who we'll just call Mom and Dad are chilling in the living room, watching TV. And suddenly, boom, Eric and Lyle bust into the room, and they're holding shotguns, and they just start blasting. Like, blam, blam, they shoot Dad 6 times. Blam, they shoot Mom 10 times. And Dad dies immediately, but Mom, she's still alive. But she's hurt, and she's trying to crawl away. So the brothers run back outside to Eric's car where the ammo is. And then they reload, and then Lyle shoots Mom one last time and unalives her. The brothers then decide they need to cover their tracks. So they shoot Mom and Dad both in the knee to make it look like a mafia hit. And then they pick up all the shell casings so they can get rid of them. And then they drive to a nearby movie theater and they buy 2 tickets to see Batman, because seeing the movie is going to be their alibi. And after Batman, they return to the family home, and that's when they call 911. And they tell the operator they had just come home from the movie theater and they found their parents there dead. Minutes later, police show up, and Eric and Lyle tell them the same thing, that they just came home and found their parents there. And it works. Police believe them. I mean, in that moment, they have no reason to suspect them of any wrongdoing. In fact, police see that Mom and Dad had been shot in the kneecaps, and they start thinking, well, maybe this was a mafia hit. So basically, the brothers have just successfully gotten away with murder. And I don't know if they're celebrating or what, but pretty quickly, they go out, and with their dead dad's money, they start spending like crazy. They buy a...
Shopping. Living it up, enjoying life.
Couple of luxury condos, a Jeep Wrangler, a Porsche, a Rolex. Eric hires a $50,000 a year tennis coach, and Lyle buys a whole ass Buffalo Wings restaurant. So within 6 months, the brothers had spent $700,000 of their dad's fortune. I mean, from the looks of it, things seem to be going pretty great for them. Until this guy tries to impress his girlfriend, and he screws everything up. We'll just call him Doc. Now, Doc is a psychiatrist, and one day he gets a little too close to one of his patients, and they start smashing. We'll just call the patient Mistress. Now, Doc is married with kids, but he doesn't care. He just keeps on smashing with Mistress on the regular. Now, Mistress isn't his only patient. Doc also has other patients, including one named Eric and another named Lyle. And Doc, he has regular therapy sessions with both Eric and Lyle. And one day, in one of those sessions, Eric comes out and tells Doc that he and Lyle had unalived their parents. And while Doc hears this and he continues to counsel them, he actually ends up tape recording one of their therapy sessions. So here's the thing about Doc. He apparently likes to flex. And when he's not at work, he likes to gossip about his patients to Mistress. And one day, he basically tells her, and by the way, those brothers in the news, Eric and Lyle, they're my clients, and they totally unalived their parents. They told me so. And then months later, Doc and Mistress's affair ends. And their breakup is apparently ugly. Like, real ugly. Allegedly, he assaults her. So Mistress, she gets pissed off, and she's like, this guy. And she steals Doc's tape recordings of his session with Eric and Lyle. And she takes them straight to the police because she wants to get Doc in trouble by accusing him of knowing about the murder but not reporting it. So police listen to the tapes and they hear Eric and Lyle confessing to unaliving their parents. And they go out and they immediately arrest Lyle. Well, Eric turns himself in a few days later. So here's Eric's mugshot and here's Lyle's. So now the brothers are in jail and they're charged with murder. And they might get the death penalty for this, and this scares the shit out of them. So they sit in jail for 3 years before they finally get to go to trial. And there, the state argues that Eric and Lyle unalived their parents because they wanted to inherit their parents' fortune, which is why they were out spending all that money. But Eric and Lyle, they argue that they did it because their dad had subjected them to years of mental, physical, and sexual abuse. And they argue that getting rid of their parents was the only way out of that toxic situation. It's sort of a self-defense argument.
Yeah, crazy story. It looks like they're about to start the press conference, maybe. Some people are walking down. I mean, there's so many stories of these people, these kids killing their parents. You know, it just makes me think of that. Jonathan puts sleep emojis. Bro, it's a huge story. I mean, it's a huge thing in California. It's even on Lifetime for some of the people that are not that interested. It's a huge story. Lyle, these little spoiled brat rich kids. Some people think they should be let out and be freed. They're trying to get out. Some people think they shouldn't be let out. Spoiled little brats.
What a guy.
It's ABC.
Can we tell KTLA to kill it? Are you talking to me?
It's KTLA. KTLA.
Shot.
KTLA taking heat.
Hey, Chief Hamilton, are you joined by anybody else on this? We're going to live with this? Okay, thanks, Al.
Thank you for the hat and mustache on that man.
Everybody set? Go ahead, Alan, do it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton. I'm the Chief of Detectives for the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm going to give a brief statement, and then we're going to address any questions that we can. I understand there are going to be questions regarding what occurred here tonight. I will not be able to provide information in a lot of areas that questions may be getting asked, but I'll do the best I can. So at approximately 3:40 this afternoon, Los Angeles police officers, along with the Los Angeles City Fire Department, responded to the 200 block of Chadbourne Avenue here in the city of Brentwood. Upon arrival, they determined that there were 2 deceased individuals inside of the residence. The Los Angeles Police Department is now conducting an investigation at this residence here on Chadbourne, and that investigation will continue over the coming days. We will not be releasing any information regarding who was found deceased in the residence because that will be done by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. So if there are any inquiries regarding the identity of the individuals that are deceased inside of the residence, that information will come from the LA County Coroner's Office. The current death investigation that is being conducted by the Los Angeles Police Department is going to be handled by the Homicide Special Section of Robbery-Homicide Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. That investigation will move forward through the night, and tomorrow morning we will probably have additional information regarding what occurred here on Chadbourne and our investigation moving forward. We will not be releasing any further information regarding the investigation that is occurring here in Brentwood tonight. Our detectives will be responding along with our Forensic Science Division and our Technical Investigation Division investigators to conduct a full crime scene investigation and determine the appropriateness of the investigation moving forward. At this time, the Los Angeles Police Department is not seeking anyone as a suspect or as a person of interest or in any other manner, and we will not be doing that until we conduct our investigation and we move forward. That's all I have right now at this early preliminary stage of this investigation. If you have questions that I can answer, I will answer them. I would just ask you, please, if we do not have the ability to answer the questions, that you remain patient over the coming hours and over the coming days. Starting tomorrow morning, we will be responding and providing additional information as it becomes publicly available.
We're being told that a family
who actually made the call, the Broad Fire Department and police officers, was that person known in the release as well?
So we understand that the person reporting was here at the location. We're not going to release any information regarding the identity of that individual at this time.
Chief, why are you not looking? Chief, why are you not looking for a suspect?
Hold on, one at a time.
We're being told that a family member is being interviewed in connection.
Family member, that's right.
Can you confirm that? And is that family member being cooperative?
There are going to be many family members interviewed. I'm not going to confirm whether someone's being interviewed at this time or not. We're going to try to speak to every family member that we can to get to the facts of this investigation.
Chief, why are you not looking for a suspect?
I'm sorry.
Chief, why are you not exactly looking for a suspect? Are you confident you know who did this?
We have not identified a suspect at this time.
Well, then shouldn't you be looking for one so these neighbors aren't worried about their own lives and their own safety?
Yeah, so at this time, after we determine, so I need everyone to understand something. In order to comply with the legal process, before we do anything here, we have to get a search warrant because there are issues regarding standing at this residence. So as long as those legal requirements are met, we can continue the investigation. Now, when I tell you that we have not identified a suspect, it doesn't mean that we're not working the case. We will not identify a suspect until that person is identified as a suspect and we're legally seeking them if there is a crime to be reported and if that person is a suspect in that crime.
Has anyone been detained for questioning?
Hold on.
Alan, has anyone been detained? No. Has anyone been detained yet for questioning? Are you questioning people now that could be possible suspects and or a person or persons of interest?
Specifically, your first question, no one has been detained. Specifically, your second question, no one is being interviewed.
What were the injuries? What were the injuries? We're not
gonna. Yeah, so we're not going to comment on the injuries at this time. That information will be coming forward in the coming days as it's publicly releasable. If it is part of the investigation and it is not publicly releasable, we will not be releasing it.
Is there reason for people in Chief? Is there reason for people in the neighborhood to be?
Sharon was up. Go ahead.
Are your detectives inside the home right now? Are they getting access to the home right now as we speak?
We're waiting for the legal process to move forward. We have to obtain a search warrant for the resident. As soon as that is complied with, we will be conducting a full crime scene investigation on the interior and the exterior of the residence and the surrounding neighborhood.
Just to follow up, Deputy Chief, is there somebody from the family not allowing detectives inside the home right now?
Sleep with my gun again.
That's inconsequential. We have to comply with the legal process. It doesn't matter whether the family allows us in or not.
Detective, what other?
Hold on. Ma'am.
Have the family members been notified? The victim's family members been notified?
Have the family been notified of what? That an incident occurred here?
But somebody's dead, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
I believe the family's dead.
In other words, why are you not releasing their names? They're out there, Chief.
That's going to be the Los Angeles County Coroner that releases the information.
Sorry, I'm
Chief, is this a homicide?
Ma'am, go ahead.
You're like going hard.
At this time, it's a death investigation. Again, until we get inside and we make a determination, we can't call it anything. So we're going to conduct that investigation. Hold on. We're going to conduct that investigation at the appropriate time. We will identify what kind of incident it is, and if it's determined to be a crime, we will seek the suspect, we will bring them to justice, and we will take them into custody.
The mayor has confirmed it's the Reiner. Sir, the mayor has already confirmed it's the Reiner. Can you tell us any more?
I can't speak for the mayor, but I can speak for the Los Angeles Police Department. The Los Angeles County Coroner will identify the deceased that are inside of the residence. And that will be, hold on. That will be the official notification and the official identification of the deceased inside of the residence.
Under what circumstances were the bodies discovered?
I'm not going to address that. Ma'am? Sure, there's a legal process whenever you're going to conduct an investigation in a crime scene in the state of California. There's certain requirements that you have to meet in order to conduct a thorough
That's nonsense that they can't investigate a murder on the murder scene without a warrant.
Someone say, I need you guys to leave the residence right now. So we're going to, hold on, ask the question, I'm going to answer. So we have to comply with the legal process. Once the warrant is signed and delivered, we will have access to the crime scene. We will conduct a full, thorough, impartial investigation. We will conduct additional investigations in the neighborhood around this area. And then with that information, we will go forward with the investigation, whether it is a death investigation or some other type of investigation.
Sir, Chief, should we be worried to sleep tonight?
And I do want to be clear, hold on, I want to be clear with one thing. Wherever we can be transparent and provide information to the public, we will release it as soon as we can.
Chief, are the neighbors safe?
Are the neighbors
yes.
safe?
Yes?
I think we gotta cuddle tonight. We're gonna cuddle tonight.
Cuddle tonight?
I don't understand.
Well, it's been 6 hours since police were called.
Okay, so just to be clear, there's an initial investigation when the patrol officers arrive. When they make a determination that detectives are needed, they will back out. We will conduct a sweep of the area to make sure that it's safe, and then we will comply with the legal process, and then we move forward. I'm not giving you the exact timeline on that, but I'm telling you that it's moving forward. Pete, you had another question.
One, how soon do you anticipate getting a warrant?
Tomorrow. Police chief, are we safe?
We'll be obtaining the warrant in real time very shortly, if we have not obtained it already. In terms of the coroner's ETA, I cannot tell you when their estimated time of arrival is.
Chief, should we cuddle tonight?
We're already in communication with the coroner's office.
As far as the overall investigation, the initial
That's correct. We've only done preliminary investigations.
The bodies remain inside, correct, Chief?
Are we safe in Brentwood?
Okay, so nothing has occurred inside the house. The house is in the exact same state it was when the officers arrived, just to be clear.
Chief, are we safe in Brentwood tonight? Are we safe in Brentwood tonight, Chief?
I can't hear you.
Are we safe in Brentwood, the neighbors of the community?
Oh, are we safe in Brentwood? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have officers here at the scene. We have officers in the area. We're not looking for anyone in the Brentwood area at this point. We're not looking for anyone because we're still working on that part of the investigation.
Chief, besides the Reiners, Chief.
Hold on. Someone over here.
We're not looking for anybody. So you're not safe.
He said they're not looking for nobody, so they're not safe.
I don't know. People magazine or people in the
people, yeah. Address the elephant in the room.
That did not come from
the allegations that the son killed him.
Can you give us a sense of how many witnesses, if any, you guys have been able to talk to? I mean, the people who've been able to already touch base with?
Story's way off.
Information of what is holding inside that home?
So we've already been talking to the neighbors. We've already been canvassing the neighborhood and speaking to residents that live around this area. So that's
I'll be honest, the gifts are entertaining me.
In terms of someone that may have information regarding what happened inside the residence, we're not going to release that information. That'll be part of the investigation.
We've confirmed.
Were there other family members living?
There's been no report from the neighbors regarding hearing anything or seeing anything that we can release to the public.
Were there other family members residing inside the house inside the problem as well?
I don't have that information.
Timeline of this murder.
We haven't established that yet. We will establish that soon, and then that'll be part of the investigation.
Cause of death.
The part that is publicly releasable, we will release. The cause of death will be released by the LA County Coroner.
Are you looking into them being stabbed?
We're looking into getting the information from the LA County Coroner when it's available.
Were any weapons found at the scene?
Yes. We didn't say.
Were any weapons found?
We didn't say anything about weapons either. Okay. All right, thank you.
Chief, can I get a skincare routine?
It's a double homicide.
Yo, he said skincare routine?
Why is the robbery-homicide unit involved, sir? Are you able to explain that?
Well, it's a homicide.
So what's the robbery aspect to it? Are you looking at robbery to be involved in this at all?
I didn't mean to be flippant. Let me be specific. There was recently a change within the department. Robbery-Homicide Division handles all homicides now in the city of Los Angeles, so I apologize. I didn't know if you knew that or not. All homicides occurring in the city of Los Angeles are now handled by Robbery-Homicide Division as of the end of October. So we handle them all. Okay?
Next
All right,
update.
thanks, everybody.
Next update, please. When will we hear from you
Next update
again?
will be after tomorrow morning.
And do you have a Spanish interpreter for us, please?
We do not have a Spanish interpreter out here tonight.
Our media relations will inform you.
Thank you. If not, we'll put a statement out.
Thanks, everybody.
Guys, can we all thank the chief on 3? 3, 2, 1. Thank you, chief.
What is the, yo, this is crazy. All right.
That was a bogus press conference. It was fucking bogus. All right, everybody. Make sure you like the live, share the live, follow the page. Give us a follow. What's up, Ted?
That's Tim Pingle on TikTok. Let me show you. Okay, we're gonna end off this live with 2 things that I think are interesting and worth watching. Let me just set it up real quick. Mute this. Okay.
On the live.
This video we're gonna watch, and then the other one we're gonna watch here. I'm gonna record it because I can put it on the clips page tomorrow.
Turd.
Okay. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. So the OG on Twitter posted this, Colin Rugg, that Reiner, they're saying Rob was allegedly murdered by his son, stabbed to death, husband and wife. They're pulling up old
We
clips.
didn't bond a lot as a kid. Like, he really liked baseball. I like basketball, and he could watch that with my brother, but baseball. But I just, when I saw him do that, and it was something that I'm interested in, I was like, wow, like, he really knows a lot, and like, it made me feel closer to him and be like, yeah.
You're like, wow, my dad's Rob Reiner.
So this is his son. In multiple 2016 interviews, Rob and his son, Nick, opened up about their project together. Title being Charlie? What the hell?
I never had thought about it, and then...
Yeah, it didn't cross your mind, right?
Never.
No.
Never watched A Few Good Men. Didn't see that one.
No. But it's interesting that Nick would talk about it in that way because, yeah, we did share that experience, but, you know, even though I've had a lot of experience making movies, you know, and I said this to him many, many times, that he was the heart and soul of the film. So when it came to making the film deeper and better, I would have to really defer to him. I mean, even though I have had all this experience in making films, the core of this film, I really had to look to him. I relied on him for giving it the honesty and the truth that it has.
So I've watched the film. It's difficult to watch in a lot of parts. There's a lot of heavy topics in there. And you've made no secret about the inspiration behind the film. You have battled substance abuse for years. What made you, I want to start with you, Nick, what made you decide to put this story in film form?
Well, it started out as a television show that we wrote. And I get asked this question a lot, like, why would you want to put your story out there? And it was never that difficult for me to share what I struggled about. And it was never like, oh, this will help someone else. It was just like, I have a lot of experiences that...
And it looks like his dad put on his son, because his son would be nothing. You literally mean nothing. Your entire existence is nothing but your father putting you on, and then you allegedly kill these fucking people.
might be valuable to other people, but I just find them interesting, and I would like the world to know
It was all in the family, right? That's the name of the show, In the Family? or
about
something?
them. I never thought it would get this far, though.
You didn't?
No, now I have to own up to it.
So how did it get this far? Explain to me how this became a collaboration.
Well, I mean, Nick, as he said, he met Matt Elisafan, who's the other screenwriter. They met in a rehab place, and they started making notes and observations of people that they saw there. And after they both got out, Nick contacted Matt and said, "Hey, maybe there's something in this. We should write something."
Mm-hmm.
And so they got together and they wrote this half hour, and they showed it to me, and I thought it was funny, but I thought it lacked depth because I knew
You thought it was funny.
Well, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny, but it was supposed to be a comedy, you know. And I thought this subject really could go a lot deeper. They then wrote an hour comedy drama, and we tried to set it up. We couldn't set it up, and then I suggested, why don't we try to see if we can make a screenplay out of it? So the whole process took about a year, and Matt and Nick, they wrote this draft that was 190 pages, and they threw everything in that they had, and I helped them shape it, and it got to be what it is. And we took from our experiences, but it was also a combination of other people that Nick and Matt had come across in their times in rehab.
Did you always know that you wanted to be involved on this level?
No. I mean, I did think when Nick was going through his roughest period, I mean, it was like from 15 to 19, and during that period, there was a couple of books that came out that was by father and son, Nick Sheff, and I think it was David Sheff. They're both.
These kids now, their supposed tough period, you know, when I was growing up, that builds character. That makes you a stronger person. These ungrateful turds, they'll kill you for whatever reason.
Perspectives on.
And who knows? We don't know the whole story. Maybe there's some crazy shit we don't know about.
What had happened, and Nick Sheff was, had a drug problem, and the father was a writer, and they wrote these two different books. One was called Beautiful Boy, the other was called Tweak. And I thought, hey, maybe there's something in there, because I know Nick is going through. I had no idea how difficult it was for him, but I knew what I was going through, and I thought maybe there's something in a story. But then I kind of put it aside because I thought this is too raw and it's too difficult. But I guess when we had a little distance on it, then you could kind of start looking at it, and it came to be what it is.
But on that same point, that's an interesting point you raised. Were you ever hesitant to show your father some of those things you had written? Because there's, as much as you're pulling from other people's experiences, you're pulling from your own as well. Was there ever a moment when you thought, this is too much, I don't want him to know all this?
Well, he knew a lot about what I'd went through already, so I wasn't any concerned at all about what it was in there about me. But the father character initially was harsh on him, and I, believe it or not, was not wanting the character to be that villainous. And it was hard for him for a while to think that I thought of him that way, and to convince him that that's not how I felt, but that fathers do get in that mode sometimes when they're trying to help their kid who's in danger.
And it's interesting that he mentions that, because I did think that. I mean, the father originally was written as very black and white, bad guy, and I thought, oh God, that's what Nick thinks of me, and oh my God, I thought that was, but then he actually came about halfway through the process. He said, the father should be it should be a little bit more dimensional. I mean, he's like too much of one thing. And oddly enough, I took that as to be, oh, he's feeling better about me now. So he was able to say that. But the character evolved, and I do think that over the course of making the film, that our relationship definitely changed and got. I mean, it wasn't that was terrible or anything, but it got better because.
Relationship got better. What happened?
Because I then understood a lot more of what he had gone through, and I think he understood a little bit more what I had gone through, and then the script reflected that.
Wow. Rob responded with grace and compassion to Charlie's assassination. This video makes it more painful to hear. So he even spoke on Charlie Kirk.
About the murder of Charlie Kirk. What was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror. Absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution.
I respect that.
To solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service that the memorial they had was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful, and absolutely, when she forgave his assassin, and I think that is admirable.
Wow. Only to be murdered allegedly by your son. That's just crazy, man. That's just I don't know what to say. I was tagged on Twitter. Somebody said crazy press conference on X. They tagged me. Wild presser from that local streamer. All these emojis. But yeah, no, it is a really sad thing. I don't, you don't know what to do. Like you raise these kids and you hope for the best. You sacrifice. You make so many sacrifices. You sacrifice your livelihood. Like your well-being for your kid. You would feed them over yourself so they can be happy. Christmas comes around, birthdays comes around. Maybe you don't have the money, and you do whatever you can so that kid can have a Christmas or a birthday, and then they can fucking stab you and kill you. Right? Isn't that just wild? You ungrateful piece of shit. You spoiled brat. Fuck.
This is just the beginning, and people have to understand our democracy is being taken away from us, and we only have about a year. Just to be clear about this, and people, you're doing a great job, and a lot of other people are doing a good job to tell people what is actually happening in this country. But make no mistake, we have a year before this country becomes a full-on autocracy and democracy completely leaves us. And we're looking at the election in 2026, and Donald Trump knows. He knows that in a free and fair election, he will lose. He will lose the House. The House will flip and will become into Democratic hands. There'll be committee chairs that'll be able to hold hearings. And this is the last thing he wants. So this little, these ICE agents and the National Guard, and now he's called the military in from all over the world to talk to them about, don't be surprised.
Is this the Groyper curse? They talk about the Groyper curse. Is this the Groyper curse or the Trump curse?
When polling booths are surrounded by American military in the guise of making sure that the elections are fair and that nobody's tampering with anything. And when you see violence breaking out, which there'll be protests, there'll be inciting violence, there'll be some violence, and they'll kick back. Then you'll see the commandeering of voting machines, ballot boxes, to make sure that that election is secure. Well, what that means is that he will then commandeer the election. So we have to make the public absolutely aware that their democracy is being taken from them. And we have to do everything we can to make sure people understand that. People don't, it's a vague term, democracy. It's like, what does that mean? The Constitution, we don't know what that means. People care about their pocketbook issues, the price of eggs, they care about their health care, and they should. Those are the things that directly affect them. But if they lose their democracy, all of these rights, the freedom of speech, the freedom to pray the way you want, the freedom to protest and not go to jail, not be sent out of the country with no due process, all these things will be taken away from them. And we have to educate the public that this is what's happening right now in America.
Wow. Well, that was Rob. I'm ready to get off, but there might be a chase. I don't know. Let me see. Might be a police chase. Following a stolen vehicle took off and pursuit canceled. Oh, they lost visual, so they're saying the pursuit was canceled. Okay, maybe that's it then. Damn, they're saying Romy Reiner. That's horrible. Let's see. They're saying that Romy Reiner, which is the daughter of Rob, apparently found the bodies and called the police. That's what people are claiming on X. Oh, she lives across the street? Oh. She lives across the street. So supposedly the daughter allegedly found the body. That's horrible. Yeah. We'll have to see. I'm definitely gonna follow back up to see if it's the son, the little I don't know, spoiled brat, ungrateful little brat. If it is him, ungrateful little brat that's never earned anything in his life, and has had everything handed down to him. Little, I don't know. I'll be nice. I guess I'll be nice. Little brat. Spoiled. He needed a spanking. I've always been against corporal punishment. I'm not a corporal punishment. I got my ass beat when I was growing up by my mother at the belt. I had to sit in a closet while she went to church. Jehovah's Witness. That's a whole other story. But I always say I don't believe in corporal punishment. But now that I'm seeing these kids, I'm telling you, like the last couple of months, some of these kids, maybe they do need an ass whooping. Sit down and shut the fuck up. So I don't know. I think some of these kids maybe they do need an ass whooping. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of them do. I've been blessed. I have an amazing kid, but I only have one kid, so I don't know. Statistically, it's like I understand. Maybe yeah. Sit down, shut up, stop complaining, motherfucker. You're not dealing with nothing that we dealt with growing up. You know? I don't know. Half of the stuff that people are complaining about, we grew up and we laughed about it. And when we were in school, we weren't talking about sex. I don't understand what's with all the sexualization. You know, it's kids in school and shit. Instructions. We didn't need instructions growing up. We didn't even think about it. I don't understand it. I don't know. Luigi did it. I don't know. We didn't think about that growing up. I didn't need instructions about sex growing up. It just wasn't even a thought. We had fun. We hung out. We played games. And we went home. And that was it. I didn't think about that shit. I mean, I wasn't thinking about trans and transitioning. I didn't have friends transitioning and popping pills. Like, it just wasn't a thing growing up. Now it's everything. Now it's like, I don't know. I can't. You know what's crazy? There was a Netflix thing. I don't know. There was a lady. It was really funny, but it's so true. I don't know if I can find it now. There was a lady that she was talking about, like, yo, I can't even sit down with my kids anymore because there's like always it's true. I've realized this. There's always some like sexual gay scene. I don't need, and it's like you can tell it's like forced. Why are we forcing this shit? I can't even watch a show of my kid being in the other room because they're doing some weird shit. And I gotta turn it off. I gotta turn off Netflix. Why are they doing that? Why? Let's see if I could find the thing. It was really funny, but the lady was. It was so true, and I was like, yo, I can't even sit down and watch something with. It's just everything's like I don't know. I can't find it. see. There was some lady on. I guess I can't find it. I don't know. I can't find it, but yeah, I just want to watch a movie. I don't want to see all this stuff. I just want to watch a movie. Even if it was just a man and woman having sex, I don't want to see that either. I just want to watch the movie and like whatever. Anyway, I'm going to get off. You guys have a good night. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. It's been a really crazy weekend. It has been. So thank you guys so much. Be safe. Tomorrow's Monday. Damn, it's Monday now. My God. Back to school. But we got the winter break. So, all right. Take care. Bye. Channel 4 PBS. I feel like I want to should I end off on a positive note?
You know I'm here for you, right? It's just like, I'm a man, you know, and I'm supposed to be strong. You are strong, and sharing your thoughts and worries with me won't take that away. Are you sure? Of course, I'm all ears. Alright, so it all started when I was a kid. My favorite pet cat swallowed a rock. Wow. That's my favorite pet rock. This nigga's gay. I don't know why you keep everything inside. You know I'm here for you, right? It's just like, I'm a man, you know, and I'm supposed to be strong. You are strong, and sharing your thoughts and worries with me won't take that away. Are you sure? Of course, I'm all ears. Alright, so it all started when I was a kid. My favorite pet cat swallowed a rock. Wow. That's my favorite pet rock. This nigga's gay. I don't know why you...
JLP said it. JLP said it. Don't do it, man.
I can't move on. I can't move on. I won't allow myself to move on.
Your friend after talking to your girl for 5 minutes.
Because you're all I want. I don't want nobody else. I don't love nobody else. I don't want my body, my soul, and my heart to belong to anybody else but you. It doesn't feel right. I can't move.
Anyway, good night, guys. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.